Um, Back with Nioh 2, Tengu's Disciple, yet again, specifically the Songs of Calm the Storm mission, which I've sadly have split apart from 1 to 2 to 3 videos now, more than I was inclined to, because, well, time and just a lot and just stuff getting in the way. And I've only now, 7:30 at night, have finally managed to get into it. Would have done it earlier, but, well, like yesterday, just stuff happens, and I just couldn't get to it earlier enough, like I wished. So, yeah. Anyway, what did we do before? Well, before when we started the mission, it's a water mission, which of course means a lot of easy to fall into pitfalls into the water. So already I hate the level mostly for that. Fought some new enemies. There was a new version of the demon soldier with the cannon arm, except he doesn't shoot fireballs. His arm turns into a giant crab claw, and he shoots water out of it. And speaking of crabs, we got giant enemy crabs in this DLC. And the crabs especially are surprisingly annoying in a way. I'm not sure what the deal is with them, other than try to get in front of them where their bellies are their weak spot, because their backside is like super hard. And I'm almost tempted to bring out a Warhammer or an Odachi on them just to test it, but I don't know. And we fought this mysterious warrior monk called Benkei Masashibo, a name that I am very, very familiar with. Hey, just saying, been a while. And it was a pretty good boss fight. He doesn't go into a demon mode or anything. He's actually quite interesting. How he uses like several different weapons at once. And he's actually quite important in Japanese myth. I'll talk more about him once we go to his character file. I'm not sure if I want to save the points for the Mystic Arts. I'm thinking of doing that. And much to my happiness, they did in fact bring back the Falcon claws from Ninja Gaiden, although they kind of grouped them together as a fist weapon. So you got two versions of it. Apparently, there's this which has the claws, and then there's one which are basically just bucklers on the hands. And by the way, the Tsuchigumo that I'm wearing, a bit of a correction. Yeah, that's not what they're called in the actual technical term for the weapons are. In fact, I looked it up, different name for both the hand and the feet, and the Tsuchigumo name that this is called is in reference to a spider yokai, which, my fault, I should have connected the dots for that, being that Gumo tends to be a name used for a lot of spider yokai, and in the first game there was Joro Gumo. So yeah, correction on that. And the boss is straight ahead, so let me get my helper. Oh, there goes your face. And your son to the monastery. Okay, so yeah, that was part of the gimmick for this level, using these incendiary arrows on these big longbows, and We found 2 that we gave to Benkei, so he'll use them on this boss. So, gongs, he says. Gongs, gongs, gongs. Keep a lookout for gongs. Well, looks like it's gonna be a water theme fight. That's for sure. Oh, the frame rate. Alrighty then. So it's the Umibozu times 2. No, seriously, it's the Umibozu. Just with a, it just has a face. Nioh. It's exact. The name's different, but it behaves functionally the same. Yeah, it's exactly the same. It's just faster. Ball. And he's dead. Okay. That's new. And I'm dead. And I don't know if there's a limit to the arrows. So yeah, he's basically Umibozu from the first game, just with a couple of new tricks added to him. I don't know if I like that or not. Well, I'm definitely choosing a different weapon. Something with harder punch. Fire, maybe? Flash fire. Oh, look at this one. It's like the Ifrit from Devil May Cry. That's awesome. Well, he's a water monster, so fire's definitely gonna have to do. Sword. Or sword. Scythe, maybe? Got a pretty big hit bar, sadly. Okay, so he has lightning and water. Into his core. Nightmare mode again. And he's got an anchor. Quickly. Okay, what's he gonna do? The gong is gone. That's unfortunate. Got him. He was actually pretty cooler than I thought. Nioh. I think I like him more than the old one. At least a little bit. He's still largely the same thing, but he has a twist to him, at least. It's not what I expected. Not what I wanted either, but I'm not terribly bothered by it, surprisingly. Pit Viper shoes. Oh, that's probably for what's his name, and it's only one gong. Yeah, it's only one gong, but it apparently it lasts for as long as he has arrows, and I gave him 2 of them, so apparently it does reset the arrows. if I were to die, so... Okay. Yeah, they're a real problem that like that.
弁慶が武具ではなくまれびとを見つけてくるとは。
Crow lady.
汎用として生まれた私を迎え、武芸100般を授けたのは。
So he's a half-breed too.
鞍馬山に住むあやかしたち。そして私の刀を狙って現れた弁慶は互いの命を預ける分身。
The duel on the bridge.
この源の九郎砲丸義経。霊石に魅入られた平家を滅ぼし、源氏に伝わるあやかしを打つ刀を手に、必ずや世に平安を取り戻してみせよう。それを後押しするは新たなまれびとの光。同じ光を持つ者よ。女性に感謝する。
Very well, Yoshimitsu? No, that's not Yoshimitsu, it's another guy. Yoshimitsu is from Tekken. Kurama Tengu. Oh, a Tengu spirit. Kindred Light Trophy. Alrighty. Song to Calm the Storm completed. Truly, the hatred that consumes the hearts of the Taira clan knows no bounds. Surely only this twisted loathing can have caused their leader, Taira no Kiyomori, to be reborn as an Aratama. So that was him that we fought in that giant blob form. You have done us a great service to fell a monstrosity such as that. It was our great fortune that Benkei found you when he did. Now we head west in order to defeat the warmongering Taira once and for all. Only the last dregs of their forces may remain, but still we must not let our guard down. I know that I can count on your support. Minamoto no Yoshitsune. Yoshitsune. Got it. Uminudo. Let me... Hold on. Uminudo? I don't know. It's one of those ones where it's a little hard to pronounce. So what does it do? Oh, it summons him in his sapient form, where he just goes crazy. Twilight mission and a bunch of sub-missions. The Lost Sword. Loyal Retainer. Shadows. Whoa. A Shrine Maiden headpiece found in Izumo Shrine. Located in Izumo Province, present-day Shimane Prefecture, according to Japanese myth, the god Okuninushi ceded his territory to one of the heavenly gods on the condition that he be granted a palace, and Izumo Shrine was built for him as a result. Okay. Yeah, there's hidden stuff. Book of Reincarnation found in the Oki Islands, located northeast of the Shimane Peninsula. They were used since ancient times as a penal colony, and figures such as the poet Ono no Takamura and emperors Go Toba and Go Daigo were exiled there. Many banished there were never pardoned and subsequently died there, returning as vengeful spirits. Whoops. Probably shouldn't have sent them there then. It was probably a bad idea. Okay, well, it doesn't look like there's another main mission, strangely enough. Kurama Tengu. How's she look? Yeah, she's well, it's a Tengu, just more feminine than the normal ones that we keep seeing. Yeah, my freaking flame claws right there. Okay, so who are the new blood that we've been slaying? Noreona, that's what they're called. I keep forgetting their name. Karasu Tengu is the old one. Who is she is back says, hi. Hello. Hello to everyone. Umibozu, that's the lesser one. Kasha, I like her a lot. Ryu Mensukuna, ugh. I hate him. I hate the fact that he can kill you even after you've killed him when his arrows come flying down. It's like, yeah, he pissed me off when I fought him in that boss rush mission. And then, just when I think I'm done, they bring in Katsuye Shibata to kill me, and ugh. Worst boss in the game. I don't care what anyone says. Dotake Maru. Huh, friend of yours, eh? Good to know. Dotake Maru now. This is a good boss that is ruined by a very, 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 very awful power attack that just murks me. Okay, so this is one of the new ones, and it's a monkey boy, just like the other, before, except he has bigger horns and a scythe. Kiryoki. Yoki. Yeah, it's an Enki. It's an Enki with a scythe. The monkey dudes. While Kiryoki bear a resemblance to the yokai Enki, they wield a unique weapon that is able to change its form. It's the glaive. It's the scythe glaives that the Sohaya clan use. It is said that Kiryoki were once yokai hunters, corrupted by the darkness and transformed into their own prey. Yeah, they're wearing their clothes. This is said to happen when one kills a yokai without the protection of a guardian spirit, as the corruption spawned by a slayed yokai has many fearful effects on nearby humans. In other words, they're not wearing holy spiritual protection. Whoops. Viewing this as a kind of curse, many people avoid killing yokai with their own hands. Yokai hunters typically perform a purification ceremony to protect themselves from these harmful effects. But some get carried away by their bloodlust and forget to do so, eventually losing their sanity and becoming a Kiryoki. So it's basically like a werewolf transformation, except they're doubly screwed, because even if they actually kill them and they don't have a proper spiritual protection, they still get screwed over, so whoops. Ominiudo is a grotesquely gigantic yokai from the depths of the ocean. Its name means sea priest in Japanese, a reference to the rounded Buddhist priest-like head that emerges from beneath the waves. Ominiudo's body is composed of a highly viscous watery substance, and a direct strike from it is enough to smash a small ship to smithereens. The remains of these unfortunate vessels still swirl within the watery mass of Ominiudo's body, allowing it to fire them like bullets at its enemies. One should anticipate this danger when fighting Ominiudo from afar. Yeah, he's basically just a slightly reskinned version of the Omibozu boss from the first game, just with a giant face on him as opposed to just the two glowing eyes. And the fact that instead of just being a stationary turret when he's in his second form, he actually floats around and whacks at you. He's not what I expected, though. I kind of like him to an extent. I mean, Umibozu was not considered one of my personal favorite bosses in the first game. He's one of those where he actually kind of took me a while to get used to, surprisingly. So I guess some of that kind of rubbed onto me, and I kind of knew what to do with him. Just he has a couple of new tricks attached to him. Now this guy, I don't know whether I like him or hate him, because, yeah. Bakegani. Bakegani are giant crab yokai that have made many an appearance in folk tales told all over Japan. These tales can generally be divided into three types. In the first, Bakegani are said to be formed when the resentful souls of those who die at sea inhabit the bodies of crabs, transforming them into yokai. This particular legend is common in the vicinity of Dan-no-Ura, site of a decisive sea battle in the Genpei War. In the second type of folktale, a traveling monk is typically approached by a stranger, who the monk reveals is actually a crab in disguise before driving the creature away. In the third, Bakegani are depicted as guardian spirits of stream pools or plunge basins, while some are described as violent yokai that attack unsuspecting passers-by. Others are venerated as water deities capable of granting villages rain. Well, there was definitely rain in the mission when we fought him in, that's for sure. Yeesh. You know, I like crab legs, but even I don't want to eat these. Ugh. Yeah, his belly is his weak point. The problem is he likes to have his backside be facing me, as opposed to his his front. So, I guess the only reason I killed the first one I encountered as fast as I did was due to luck, and then I killed myself because I fell in the water by accident. Okay, so new guardian spirit, right? Kirama Tengu. She's cute. I'll give her that. A great Tengu from Mount Kirama that has become a guardian spirit. Only Tengu with a superlative spiritual power come to be known as Great Tengu, and they were revered as mountain gods in many regions across Japan. Great Tengu come in many forms, often as Hanataka Tengu, with incredibly long red noses, or the half-man, half-bird Karasu Tengu. Yeah, I much prefer the more bird-like Karasu Tengu over the much more commonly seen red-faced, long red-nosed Tengu that I see. You ever see those where it's like those? You got these masks that have a red face with a long nose and it looks like a cranky old man. Yeah, that's the one version of Tengu that I see a lot, and I don't like those. I prefer the more avian look without the silly long noses. I don't know, just I they look weird to me otherwise. There were also some that so closely resembled the birds or humans that they could not be identified as Tengu from their appearance alone. As is the case with many yokai, some Tengu become Nigitama, while others become Aratama. Nigitama are good spirits, while Aratama are bad spirits. Tengu that become Aratama delight in the panic that ensues from conflict and conflagration. However, those that become Nigitama protect the sacred grounds of mountains and forests, as well as guiding practitioners along the path to enlightenment. The well-known legend of the Kirama Tengu schooling the young Minamoto no Yoshitsune in the fighting arts is one such case. Okay, and then there's our old friend Mizuchi from the first game. Gyokuto. So, anything new on my profile? Not yet. Mumio, who's a Sohaya warrior, she uses the glaives. Going over all these. Shibata. Ugh. I hate his boss fight, but he's in that giant warthog with axes. Why the heck do we not have a wearable version of Okuni's robes? Seriously, I want my character to wear this. I feel left out. There's the William from the first game. So yeah, I kind of maintain my opinion that Nioh 2 is not so much a separate game as much as it's a part 2 of a two-part story, with Nioh 1 being the other side of the coin. And Maria, who thank God we did not get to fight again because her boss was so bad in Nioh 1. Oh my god. Completely broke the rules of the first game to the point that it just was not fun. These 7 warriors from the one of the final levels. Minamoto no Yoshitsune. is a military commander from the late Heian period. He was known as Ushi Wakamaru in his childhood. It is said that he learned swordsmanship from the Tengu of Mount Kirama. When Yoshitsune's older brother, Minamoto no Yoritomo, began to raise an army to oppose the Taira clan, Yoshitsune hastened to join the army's ranks. It is said that his skill with the Sohaya Maru is responsible for many of the Minamoto army's victories. Some even whisper that he must be a shiftling to possess such prodigious skill. As violent winds blow, Yoshitsune launches a surprise attack against the Taira base of Yashima. He leaps from ship to ship, making fools of the Taira soldiers who attempt to stand in his way. It is then that he meets the protagonist who had just defeated the spirit of Taira no Kiyomori in the form of the yokai Umimiudo. Yoshitsune proposes that they team up to defeat the Taira. Yep. So this guy, Heian period, so he's before, a good many years before the Sengoku period. And he's, from what I understand, he and Benkei are pretty well known culturally over there. And speak of the devil, Benkei, real name Benkei Masashibo, or Masashibo Benkei, because, last name, first name, switch around thingamajig. Benkei is a warrior monk from the late Heian period, also known as Masashibo Benkei. And there it is. He is a large man, typically seen wearing a hood and the garb of a Buddhist priest. His reputation for being an incredibly powerful warrior precedes him, and the split staff is said to be just one of many weapons he wields with great skill. Yeah, 7 total, according to legend. He is famous for serving Yoshitsune. It is said that the two originally met because Benkei had a penchant for collecting weapons and coveted Yoshitsune's blade. As one of Yoshitsune's retainers, Benkei clashes with the Taira clan and Yashima. When he sees the protagonist Sohayamaru, he mistakes it for Yoshitsune's own blade and attacks the protagonist to reclaim it for his master. After the protagonist manages to defeat Benkei, Benkei acknowledges their might, and the two come to be companions. Benkei contributes to the protagonist's triumph over Ominiudo, the enormous yokai who attacks them at sea. Yup, and his boss fight is actually pretty good. I liked it. He carries it in a giant fine china gourd. That's hilarious. He's got an axe, he's got a sword, and I believe that's the naginata that he's using, or it's a glaive. They folded the naginata into being like a scythe glade, so now it's like it can turn into both of them. And funny enough, I went looking. And it turns out, if anyone remembers my first playthrough of Nioh 1, way back, last year, I think? It was either last year or the year before. I want to say the year before. Where there was a side mission where you fought a revenant who was larger than the rest, and he had a hood on his head, and we fought him on a bridge. That was this guy. Yes, Benkei technically appeared in the first Nioh in a side mission as a side mission boss, and he was a bitch to fight. Like, oh my god, I hated him. But eventually, I conquered him. Then they brought him back in a side mission in one of the DLCs, and I hated him even more because they paired him up with a Tengu, I think. Pardon my French as well, by the way. And of course, they don't call him Benkei, but of course, I'm not Japanese, so likely anyone who was playing this game who is Japanese likely would have picked up on it, assuming they know the legend, because, well, hell, look, sadly, we Americans, we're becoming less and less intelligent all the time. Like seriously, you go on YouTube and you see people quizzing people like, "Hey, do you know what Pearl Harbor was?" And they look like deers in the headlights. Like, how do you not know what Pearl Harbor is? Like, oh my god. But then again, who knows? Anyway, so yeah, he technically appeared in the first game, and bit of a funny story with him. The whole thing with Benkei, he was a warrior monk who was kind of a roughhouser, you could say. So he went into the mountains and made his own little, I guess you could say, his own little mountain monastery, and he had a bridge that he guarded where he challenged anyone who crossed, and he beat over like 900 men. I want to say 999, beating the crap out of them and taking their weapons. And then Yoshitsune comes up and he beats Benkei, and yeah, the 1000th challenger is the one who ended up beating him. And then they fought again, and Benkei swore, I guess you could say, the Japanese myth equivalent of a Wookiee life debt to Yoshitsune. So it almost kind of reminds me of in the Robin Hood movie, Prince of Thieves, the Kevin Costner one, where he's at the river and he fights Little John, and then he beats Little John, and Little John sides with him. That's what it reminds me of, like a Robin Hood Little John kind of thing. And Benkei, I figured I heard the name somewhere, because it turns out the name Benkei Masashibo is even used, no joke, both as a name and as a reference for one of the characters in New Getter Robo. Like Getter Robo, it had like two characters, Masashi and Benkei. So they were separate characters in the original anime and some of the other OVAs and mangas. And what they did with New Getter Robo, which is a standalone anime, they basically took the two characters and fused them together. And, of course, it's a double reference to both Masashi and Benkei. Put them together, Masashibo Benkei. And he's a monk in New Getter Robo as well, who's a bit unruly, to say the least. And so that's where I first heard the name. So I did not know much about the actual folk tale until this point. I just assumed, a character from a giant robot anime. Okay, only to come here and realize, nope, it's a double reference to a figure from both folklore and history. And sad story. And I don't know how it's going to turn out in the game, but in the story of Benkei and Yoshitsune, Yoshitsune, him and Benkei, they won a bunch of battles. They beat the Taira clan. Then Yoshitsune's relative, I can't remember who it was, but basically he decided to act the fool and go attacking Yoshitsune. Yoshitsune actually got beat, and he went to go commit suicide. And Benkei basically stood at the bridge outside of his palace, guarding the place, and and the other Minamoto clansman who turned traitor sent all of his warriors to go on the bridge, only for Benkei to pretty much wipe the floor with all of them. And so instead of going at him to attack him with swords, they instead shot arrows at him, but they kept shooting and shooting, but he still stood on the bridge. So it was like days later, like the men go on the bridge, and it's like Benkei's is already dead. He just died standing up, and he's just been there like a statue the whole time, while Yoshitsune, went and committed seppuku on himself. So it's a sad, sad ending for the two. In hindsight. But it is a fascinating story all the same. I just noticed that he's wearing fine china as armor pieces all over himself. Like, I just realized that. So yeah, little extra trivia. A little long-winded, I apologize. Now, we have some side missions, but... 1, 2, 3... I'm thinking of maybe saving these for tomorrow, personally. Blessed sleeve. Huh. So, yeah. I think this is going to be a short stream because I just wanted to get the boss fight over with after having not been able to do it yesterday. In the meantime, let's look at some of the stuff we got. Benkei hood. Late mail. No Benkei chest piece or anything? Are you serious? Oh, wait a minute. There it is. Ah. Seriously, that cannot be comfortable, being that it's like a bunch of glass shards attached to me. It'd be just as much a danger to you as it would be your opponent. Like, yeah, no thanks. I'm not wearing glass. Thank you very much. Pit Viper, yeah, it's an old shoe. Okay. So, how do I get the Mystic Art? Breaking free. Strike like a yokai. I think those are dojo missions. Yep, they are dojo missions. Yeah, I'll get it out of the way. Huh, Hattori Hanzo. So you have mastered the split staff, have you? Interesting. I wonder if you have fully grasped its limitless possibilities, its true value. Come, let us see firsthand. I trust you are ready. Okay. Yeah, I might as well, put the name of it. I tend to count these as missions in their own right. Alright, old man, let's get to it. I think I already read this. At the heart of Osaka lies the heavily fortified walled complex of Ishiyama Honganji. With an extensive canal system connected to the sea, the complex also has an enormous reservoir to provide water in times of disaster or when under siege from enemies. The gigantic stones used to form the foundation of the bulwarks are what gave the location the name Ishiyama, meaning stone mountain. Yep, the Ishi part means stone. Ishiyama, Ishimura. Ishimura means stone village, and that was the name of the ship in Dead Space. That mining ship, which you pretty much was in 90% of the game. The complex boasts defenses that have repelled the might of countless daimyo during times of war. I think I've already read this. I think this was the level where we fought the crow mercenary, whose name I can't remember, and we fought the giant spider bull thingamajig. Alright, old man, let's do this. I kind of like the backward step. It kind of keeps me out away from him. I've also been really bad at He's gonna kill me. Yep, do it. Do it. It's okay. I know what to do, it's just I wanted to test some shit out. And it cost me, of course. But it's okay. Yeah. I timed that one wrong. I'm not upset. It's just trying to test moves. Move doesn't seem to do much. Got him. Tempest staff. Ugh. I don't like the Tempest staff. It looks silly. Take a bow. Be respectful. That was good. I really like the split staff. I don't think it does a lot of damage as much as I'd like, but it's very fun. It's basically a giant nunchaku extended into being a big staff, or nunchuck as most people in the West call them. Now I just need to focus on the fists, and that'll be all she wrote. Split staff locks. Evil Crusher split staff. Ah, I didn't read it. Hold it. Let me pause. Okay, let me read it on the video. Most impressive. You never cease to amaze me. I could never have foreseen that you had already mastered the weapon to such a degree. With my secret techniques in hand, you can now aim higher skill. As for me, I will redouble my studies. Now, should you wish to train again at any point, I will gladly assist you. Okay. I had to no wait, stop. I didn't read it. So I went fishing for the video so I could pause, go to where it is. Level up I can. Nice. Do I want to do magic, dexterity, or skill again, or strength? Strength. Strength, constitution. It's for heavy armor. Key pulse, melee weapon, increases life by 5 points versus water. Key recovery speed. Dexterity. Skill, dexterity. I either want skill, strength, or one of these other three. Affects life, resistance to poison, and paralysis. Heart. Big resistant boost for key and key recovery speed. I don't know, honestly. I'll do skill. Raise that. Stuff that I can sell. Before I do that, I'll fool around with that later. For now, let's go to split staff. What do I... Well, I can do both of them, but... Oh, wait a minute. I just remembered something. Locks. Use all of them. Glue. What is that for? Stores of familiarity of any equipped armor by 150. Okay. It's just it's just for the familiarity bar thingamajig. What What do I want to level up, though? Good question. Storm Kunai. Shuriken damage. Blister Beetle power. Paralysis powder. Resistance. Stun arrows. Oh, it's a weapon. It's an ammo type. Interesting. This turns me into a Kodama spirit. Don't know what the point. Well, except I guess the point is to hide. I guess. An ice spell. Flame spell. Lightning spell. I either want to get the ground fire trap or the water spell. I'll get the trap. Protection talisman. Wealth talisman. Barehanded attacks. Who gives a crap? Water resistance. What's this? Geyser. The water dummy. Lightning dummy. Yeah, that's what it is. Shikigami are basically little paper mache dummies that go and explode on people. Life seal. Guardian spirit. I either want to power up the rejuvenation talisman more, or unlock a different one. I'll unlock a different one. I tend to use these anyway. I tend to be more of a magic user than a ninjutsu user anyway. Well, depending on the mission anyway. Law of lethality. Attacks that have their range extended when fluid form is active now deal greater damage. Or Law of Largesse. Largesse. I don't know. Attacks that are granted additional hits when fluid form is active now receive a higher number of additional hits. So, more hits or more damage. Attacks that are granted additional hits when in fluid form. Fluid form. Hold the button used when attacking to alter the split staff's form, changing the nature of the attack. So basically, I hold down an attack, and it and the ends of the staff get come out. Okay. Well, I'm gonna get both anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Law of Lethality, split staff master. So yeah, whatever. I'm getting both of them. What am I complaining about? Ugh, looks like there's a hidden move right there, and how much you want to bet I have to go replay a mission to get to unlock one of those. I confess, again, I really, really do not like the loot system in Nioh. Either of them. I would have much preferred a much more traditional, oh, you found a cool weapon, upgrade it to whatever whim or however. You know, basically like Ninja Gaiden or Devil May Cry, or even do what Bloodborne did, where you find the weapon, but you can modify it with whatever gems and stones you find that give it magic powers. I would have preferred that, as opposed to having to be showered with so many duplicates of the same weapons. Honestly. And they didn't just with Nioh 1 it was just that, but with Nioh 2 they went further on the annoyance of that, where it's not just weapons that are hidden, but they even hid like special moves too. That's what all these glowing circles are. They're moves that are locked, and the only way to get them is to replay certain levels and certain bosses over and over again until you are lucky enough to get them. And I really don't like that. Like, come on, if I beat the boss, just give me the damn move and let me be on my way. None of this crap. Which is why which is the reason why I unlocked the Dragon Horn attack, grapple attack for the Odachi when I went and replayed that one side mission where you fight my evil twin again. Or, well, technically she wasn't my evil twin; she was possessed. But you get my point. And so I unlocked that from that, and it's like, why couldn't it have just given it to me earlier? Ugh. I could probably upgrade that again. Yeah, give me more attack. By all means. I need another point. God damn it. So I'm gonna be using that for a while. I'm going to save my points for the fists. So that way I can get Gong and Unbowed. Just to be on the safe side. They're clearly saving for another spot right here, because why would they have all of this space filled up only to leave this one bare? So I went checking around. It's like, one person's like, oh, there won't be any more after that. Well, I don't know. Seems to me there's still one more spot right here to be filled, and I don't see them not doing it. I mean, they're doing that whole diamond shape that I keep seeing in a lot of Japanese themed games. I don't know what it means. It's a Shinto Buddhist thing, I guess. Well, that pretty much is it for now. We got a side mission here, 2 more here, and then we head east, apparently. Weird. That's, they didn't do this with the DLCs for the first game. Like, the first game was like, okay, you picked the region, and you were stuck in the whole thing. But they're not doing that. It's like they're going to a whole other region, even though, which is different from before, so I don't know what they're doing. So, when I come back tomorrow, we'll do the 3 side missions here, and we'll move on to the main mission in the stream after that. So I'm gonna go fiddle around with my gear, clear up some inventory space, and yeah, I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye. Do the thing, you know, with the subscribe and the like and so on, and that helps me out. I appreciate it, and we can finally move on from this level into these side ones. So, see y'all later. And, okay, bye.